Hey guys, Toaster back. Got an Ace Tanker for you today in the Dickermax. This is a very slow tank. It has no armor. The one trick pony of it is the gun. It's got 300 alpha at tier 6 and it's got 15 degrees of gun depression, so you can make it very hard to hit you. And it's also somewhat sneaky. The only problem is the gun is you have to snipe in it because you're slow. I mean, look how slow this thing's going. Let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit and try and get in position. So it's slow and the gun is not very accurate, which is not very German, to be honest. It's got 169 millimeters of pen though, which is pretty good at tier 6, and then 227 with the gold round. So you can actually pen like IS-6s and stuff sometimes with this. So we're going to fire a blind shot. You notice we've already got guys all the way into the castle. That T-37 has not spotted anything. And I see some guys over here. So my inclination is that all of the team is going to be over here. And we're going to speed this up because in the interest of time, I don't need you to sit there and watch me relocate. But we're going to go ahead and get into position to hopefully blunt those heavies, because we do not have a lot of heavy stuff over there. We actually have just some standard mediums for the most part. So we are top tier here, which is nice. But look at the frustration this gun causes, right? It's so bad sometimes. You know, 2 wide open shots we've missed. And fortunately, he is tracked and we're able to take him out. We're looking for shots on this T6 medium, but that's not happening. So we're going to go ahead and wait for somebody to push out. And here's our first customer. We got a VK. He's not very far away, but he is trying to flank our T28. And we're able to take him out with no problem. So the gun works. When it works, it works. But in this case, we're just waiting on enemies to push, and so we're not going to push up ourselves because we're too slow, right? We are just entirely too slow. So this T28 does the right thing and backs off. I don't know exactly what our T37 thinks he's going to accomplish over there, but we're going to go ahead and pull up here and see if we can get shots on these guys. And the Excelsior comes outside on. They don't know I'm here, obviously, or they would not be pulling out like this. And there goes their T-37, so that's great. Their light tank is out of the game, which is one of the biggest problems with this tank, is if you get spotted, you die. And the engine on these tanks, I had a better angle on that other Matilda, but these engine on these German tanks seems to go out often. So this is just farm city, right? We're up to 1300 damage, and here comes a Wolverine over the top. And if you snapshot in this, you're not going to hit. That's just the way it goes. So he stops in exactly the wrong position, but we're picking up a little bit of assist, and of course we're into our gold rounds already, because the other thing about this tank is it does not carry very many rounds. Okay, so after sitting here for a little bit, we're going to speed this up again. We realized that Excelsior probably left, which was a smart thing to do rather than try and push out against a Dickermax. Look at the graveyard we created here. And so we're going to push forward. We know there's M8A1s, which don't seem dangerous. And right there, I just snapshotted. I should have slowed it down. I'm sorry. But I snapshotted into the bush where I thought the Hellcat was at. I did not hit him. But there's a Hellcat. There's a tier 5 heavy, the Excelsior. And then there's a Cheeto. And watch this guy. He does not see us yet. And he's got 2 marks on his barrel, but we're able to take him out. And I don't know if his commander was dead or what, but he did not light us there. At least I didn't see the bulb go off. So now it's just a tier 5 medium, which is easily pennable by me if I can learn to drive, and 2 tier 4 tank destroyers. Now those tank destroyers are dangerous to me because I have 396 health left. That's the other thing, is you don't get a lot of health in this thing. 600 is not a whole lot of health. But you know, if they catch me in the open, and especially if they use bush mechanics, they could kill me really, really easy. So this game is definitely not won, even though I'm a top tier tank. And they should be afraid of me as well because I've got a huge gun. But it's a gun that has to be aimed. You have to aim this gun or you're going to miss. And you're going to see even more examples of that. So had we not pushed, we've got 1,700 damage. We had 1,500 damage before we pushed and killed that Excelsior, which is a good game in the Dickermax, but not an excellent game. So what we're doing is we're poking up here just seeing if we get lit. And we do not. So we're gonna now create our own bush out of that tree. And we're gonna push again and then let our binos set up and see if anyone pokes. It's a close game. It's 11 to 11, and they actually have more hit points than we do. So we've got to be careful of that, right? We do have a T-37, which actually he played a decent game, to be honest, but he, you know, it's tier 6. He was reckless, but that's okay. But I don't know if you've noticed, but we're up to 7 kills now. So really be nice to get a little more. So, and you can see the aim time on this is not fantastic. And so we miss a shot that we should have probably hit. And also the gun arc isn't great. So, I'm going to take a drink of coffee here. So, I really can't do anything about that guy, but he can't do anything about me either, because it appears as if he's headed this way. Now, someone's on cap, and I don't know if our artillery is spotting him or what, but I'm keeping an eye on that. It's the Cheeto. And for whatever reason, he decides to go to cap, and our T-37 is able to get back in time. So it's a good thing we had him. There's another shot that goes in the dirt, and that guy wants no part of me, right? He's a one-shot, but he doesn't realize that I've got a fairly long reload. So it looks like the T-37 is taking care of business back at cap. And it's still a very close game. So we're going to drop back as the T-37 does kill the Cheeto. And we're going to drop back into a bush up a little higher and pre-aimed, right? Maybe we're not. I just watched this video, so I should know what's going to happen, but I don't always know. Maybe we're trying to get a shot on this A1, but we see the... So this A1 is back in cover, and our T-37 takes him out, which is great. He's up to 3 kills himself. But now we're going to climb this hill and get a better angle on this M8A1, because he seems to want to pop out ever so often. And our sow is probably, he's hiding behind the rock, which is probably the right thing to do. We're down to 4 rounds. We have 2 HE, but we're down to 4 rounds here. And it looks like this SAU is kind of pushing in. And we do hit a snapshot there. So that's the one snapshot that I can say that we got this game. So anyway, would I recommend this tank? Not really. Not really. It's not very good. It's and that's our 8th kill, by the way. But it's not very good, and Artie loves this thing because they can penetrate it and kill you outright. You know, a tier 7 Artie can outright kill you. A tier 6 Artie has an opportunity to kill you. And we leave that guy on just a few hit points. Had I had the presence of mind, I would have loaded HE there because we could have penetrated him, and that would have been our 9th kill. But we ended up with 8 kills, and let's go ahead and look at the after action on this. Alright, here we are at the after action. We did get an Ace Tanker, we got a Radley Walters, we got a high caliber, and we got a Top Gun. Now, it's worth mentioning, this is a 1 in a million game in this tank. You have got to position correctly, and you're slow enough that oftentimes you don't have time to reposition to the right position, or you'll get lit if you do, and then you're dead. So it just so happened that this game worked out in our favor. So we ended up with 2,100 damage and 1,200 assists. So we did hit a blind shot somewhere, I think. 8 kills. Maybe I'm mistaken there. 22 shots fired, 14 hits, 12 pens. And so that, you're penning half your shots, which with a high pen gun is not very good. It tells you it's not a very good tank. 918 to the assist. 262 to the assist. 9 vehicles hit, 8 killed. We ended up making 11,000 credits because we fired a lot of gold. We ran out of ammo, as happens a lot in this tank, and 6,000 experience. So I appreciate you guys watching. I got a Jagdtiger game that's a little more exciting for next time. We'll go ahead and get that fired up next.